I grew up in a small village in Kenya, attended what I would call normal local primary school and even high school. When I joined high school in 2005, I could neither converse nor write well in the English language. But exactly 10 years after that, in 2015, I was beginning my PhD in engineering at the University of Oxford, whose press produces some of the best English dictionaries in the world. How did I move from not speaking or writing in the English language to doing my PhD at the University of Oxford? Delusional. Today, let's talk about being delusional and how delusion or being Delulu sometimes can transform your life for the better. And I would be encouraging you the rest of this year to be more delusional. Let me put it in quote, to be more delusional. And when I say delusional, I don't mean reckless. I don't mean ignoring reality. I mean the ability to hold a vision, a very strong vision of yourself, where you want your life, your career, your personal life, where you want it to go, your future self, that the current evidence does not support. But then you choose to hold on to that vision anyway, and you choose to continue moving forward towards that vision that you have in your mind. Stubbornly, relentlessly, even when people around you, including yourself, occasionally doubt the vision. But you do not lose hope on that vision. You press on regardless. And that is what I call being Delulu. A girl from a small village in Kenya who could barely speak in the English language found herself at the University of Oxford. That is an example. The same girl who had failed in the English language at the end of my primary school, I had less than half average marks in the English language. I think I had 40-something%. It wasn't even 50%. Now I'm an author of 3 books. You can see one of my books here, Awaken Your Potential. I have written 3 books, Delusional. I could barely converse in the English language when I joined high school. I'm now hosting 2 YouTube channels here on the internet. And I think people understand what I'm saying. Yes, there is an accent. There is nothing wrong with having an accent. But as long as you can understand my words and as long as you can learn something from my stories or from the messages that I'm sharing here on the internet. Talk of being delusional. But here is something that no one is talking about, or we are not talking enough about. The people who changed the world, the people you admire. All those, I occasionally see people on LinkedIn posting about things that they are planning to do, all this amazing stuff. They sound delusional, but before long, because they show up and they share that vision and they press on, before long, they are achieving those dreams that we thought were delusional. And then we are like, oh my God, that is inspirational. Once you've achieved the dreams, once the vision becomes reality, people stop seeing it as a delusion and they are now like, that is inspirational. Tell us how you did it. They forget that you were so delusional when you were aiming at those goals. Let me share 3 delusional moments in my life and how they have changed my life. And now I'm designing my life around more delusional stuff. I've decided to be intentionally delusional. 3 examples. In my final year of undergrad, a friend suggested that I apply for a scholarship. At that point, I did not know how prestigious it was. This was Rhodes Scholarship. I ended up just applying because my friend relentlessly nudged me to just submit the application. He said, nothing to lose. And I applied. I got the Rhodes Scholarship. The Rhodes Scholarship, you only take it at the University of Oxford. And that is how Oxford entered into the picture. Because up until that moment, like I mentioned, I grew up in a small village in Kenya. I attended like normal schools. I did not know anyone in my circle. And when I say this right now, when I think about it, it's really crazy. I did not know anyone close to me, like someone I would say friend or a relative that I had traveled abroad for their studies. And so this idea of applying for a scholarship to go abroad for your studies was so foreign to me. And not only abroad, this is going to the University of Oxford. It was the best university in the world at that point. My university, undergrad uni, was ranked number 3,000 and something in the world university rankings. And so I was proposing, what my friend was rather nudging me to apply to move from a university that was like number 3,000 and something to the best university in the world. From undergraduate degree in mechanical engineering to a PhD directly, no masters. Delusion. But guess what? The moment you just show up and you just dare try and you just become relentless, Like you just keep trying. Just keep trying. You just do not know where this road will lead. And that is exactly what I did. And so I applied, I got the scholarship. That was the first step, like showing up one step at a time. And that is one strategy of making sure, or at least ensuring that some of your delusional stuff come to life. You take one step at a time and you never stop. And so I applied, I got the scholarship. That was one step. I started drafting research proposal. I did not even know what a PhD research proposal should look like. But I drafted it anyway. And I emailed a professor at the University of Oxford who ended up becoming my advisor. He guided me. In this journey of being delusional, you cannot do it alone. You need people who buy into your delusion. And so that was a professor at the University of Oxford who came into this delusional journey of mine and supported me. Our proposal, I call it our proposal because it wasn't really mine, because the professor really helped me a lot. And if you are writing proposals, you do not need to have everything figured out. You can ask someone to help you. And if you want to know how to contact university professors, scroll somewhere in GN Inspire podcast. There is a video that I made on how to do exactly that. So scholarship secured, proposal accepted, and that is how I found myself at the University of Oxford to do my PhD. Did I know what a PhD was? I did not know what I needed to do. I had a rough idea. At least that is when I arrived, the university told me you need to do ABCD to graduate with a PhD. I was so scared. If you are not scared, then it's not your dream is not delusional enough. It has to scare you. And I like this quote from President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. If your dreams don't scare you, they are not big enough. They are not delusional enough. Go back and redraft. So anyway, with my big delusional dream, I took one step at a time, one milestone at a time. Before I knew it, it was 4 years and I had received my PhD. Earned my PhD at the University of Oxford. That journey was so transformational, so memorable. I could not believe that I did a PhD without a master's degree. At the end of that journey, I decided to write a book. It's called The PhD Journey, and you can find it on Amazon. So if you are delusional enough and you are currently thinking about doing a PhD, or if you are in the PhD journey, look it up on Amazon. Might give you some tips. The second delusional story I have mentioned, when I joined high school in 2005, and I'm not joking, I could barely write a sentence, a grammatically correct sentence in the English language. And it's not like I was stupid. I was conversing in other languages, in my tribal language and in Swahili, which was very common if you attended like local schools. And so I joined high school, and for the first time, the school was so intentional about training us to be able to speak, yes, in Swahili, but also in the English language, because they realized that if you are to go abroad, or if you were to join like international universities later on, then you need, most of the time, you would need your international language. And in this case, it was the English language. And so anyway, I remember in my first year of high school, the first essay that we were asked to write, my English teacher underlined almost every word. And I'm not even kidding. I wish I had the book. I lost the book at some point, but I wish I had the book just to show you how crazy it was. In fact, the essay was so bad that she decided not to give me any mark. Because I think if she was going to award me marks like fairly, to be honest, I think it was going to be 0 or maybe even negative. And so she decided against giving me marks. And she was curious to know this girl who can barely write. And she wanted to know who I was. Anyway, at the end of the class, when we received our essays, I followed her. And I wanted to know, how do you write in this language? Just tell me the basics, the building blocks. I'm willing to do whatever is necessary. And in your journey of being delusional, like I mentioned, it's not an easy journey. And you have to put in some work. I would write 3 essays every week and ask her to mark my essays so that I can correct, I can improve. And I did. By the end of 4 years of high school, I was writing one of the best essays. In fact, my English language grade was one of the best in the school. In 4 years, being delusional can be transformed. In 4 years, I had improved so much. Because if you consistently show up, if you consistently put in the effort, It does not matter if it's only 1 minute, if it's only 1 hour, but as long as you show up consistently, every day, every week, every month, throughout the year, throughout years, you will see a lot of difference. You will surely see some progress. Anyway, so that is one thing that I did. Another thing that I did was to be intentional about improving my vocabulary and just reading widely, to challenge myself, to think differently, to just understand how other people see the world, and just challenge myself to continue learning. And one thing that I wish I had known earlier, or I wish we can be taught a lot in school, is that school is not just 4 years or 8 years that you are in school. I wish schools could encourage students to continue learning, so that you don't stop learning, you don't stop reading the books immediately after you are done with the set books or those compulsory books that are mandatory in school. Anyway, another habit that I picked up was reading. And so I have been challenging myself to read at least 20 books every year. My job currently is a bit busy, and so I'm doing maybe 5-10 books. After I was done with school, I continued challenging myself to journal. And when I'm journaling, I'm helping myself. It's like a mindful thing that is helping my mental health, because you are downloading whatever is in your mind. But also, as I do that, I try to write in like grammatically correct sentences. I know that the GPT is now here and it can help you like structure your sentences, but I still exercise that writing memory, and I try to write as if I'm writing an essay. And so journaling and reading widely helped me with the tools, foundational tools that I needed to start writing my first book. And so can you imagine the girl who could not converse or write in the English language in the first year of high school? I'm now a published author of 3 books, and who knows, maybe more to come. Delusional. Believe in your dreams so much that when you tell your friends will be like, are you okay? Yes, you can occasionally question your delusional moves, but just continue questioning them, but just keep moving. While you are shaking, keep moving. Even as you doubt, just keep moving. They will become a reality, you will not even believe it. My third example of being delusional is starting a YouTube channel. I am a big consumer of YouTube. I consume more than I'm willing to admit here. But then one time, an idea came in my mind. I like to speak, to share my stories, to motivate other people. And then this idea was like, what if you start a YouTube channel and do exactly whatever you've been doing offline and just post all your videos here? I was like, okay, that is exciting, but also I don't know how to run a YouTube channel. I don't know how to look at the camera and record a video. I even do not have the equipment. You know that inner voice, that critical voice that is so scared when you embark on this delusional project, and it tries to talk you against embarking on that journey. Another point is to say, you will find that critical voice, that doubtful voices. Mostly they will be external, but whether you like it or not, it will even be more internal. It will be coming from within you, asking you, questioning. You don't even look like a YouTuber. That inner voice was questioning me and criticizing me. And so I remember just creating a YouTube channel, naming it. I created it. I call it GN Inspire Podcast. And then I just left it like that. I didn't have courage to record, or I was so scared to record and post my first video. I was like, people will criticize how I look. People will criticize how I sound, my accent, everything. But then I just remembered one time in 2017, I lost a sibling. And when we were burying him, I was just thinking about all the dreams that he had, that he was now going to the grave with. And that moment keeps pushing me to be even more delusional and to unleash those delusional projects into the world. Because we are not here forever. We are here for a limited time. And your 40s, your 30s, your 50s are not promised. The future is not promised. And the most delusional thing you can do is to assume that you will see your 30s, you will see your 40s, you will see your 50s, you will see your retirement years. Yes, we hope, but it's never assured. And so, with that in mind, March 18th, 2024, I hit record. I started recording. I started posting my videos here online. Some were not even 100% done, but I challenged myself to release one video every week. The power of consistency, at least that I know. If you show up, you do little thing every day, every week, throughout the year, you will see a lot of progress than someone who waits to be perfect and releases 1 or 2 things and they disappear. And so anyway, I purposed to just hit record. Whatever it is, I'm recording it, I'm releasing it every week. We now have like 100 and something episodes on that channel that I would encourage you to check it out, especially if you're looking for educational, for career, for personal development stories. I think you will enjoy it. Check it out and subscribe. How do you strategically become more delusional? And I want to challenge you to be more delusional the rest of this year. And I want to challenge you at the end of this video, I want you to pick one thing. It has to be delusional, guys. I want you to pick one delusional project, one delusional idea that you will embrace and you will work towards in little small steps throughout the rest of this year. Comment down below if you are courageous enough to share your one delusional thing that you want to do. These are 4 strategies to help you be more delusional the rest of this year. Number 1, I want you to pick a vision or an idea that slightly embarrasses you. It's too big that it embarrasses you. Leave alone your friends. Your friends will obviously be embarrassed. But I want something that will embarrass you first. The vision has to be big enough to feel slightly ridiculous when you say it out loud, but also bold enough and realistic enough that when you achieve it, you will be so proud of yourself. And like we mentioned, if your goal, if your dream, if your idea is not big enough, doesn't make you a little bit embarrassed or a little bit feel like exposed, abandon it. Redraft something that makes you a little bit embarrassed. Because it's just no way, like it's just too big. Is it a PhD? Is it a business that you've been wanting to start? Is it a podcast? Is it a YouTube channel? I don't know what it is. Just pick it. Just pick one. Number 2, make peace with the worst case scenario. Most of these delusions, by the way, the only way I was able to embark on them almost confidently, yes, doubting myself along the way, but confident regardless, is because I made peace with the worst case scenario. I mentioned, for instance, with the PhD, when I decided to do a PhD without a master's degree, I remember a friend asking me when I was scared, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to the University of Oxford to do a PhD. What if I fail? And I think that is something that stops us from trying things, because we fear criticism, we fear failure. And my friend was like, then what is the worst case scenario? If you join the University of Oxford and 1 year later, you fail your PhD, because there was an exam that you did at the end of the first year for the university to confirm that you are actually a proper PhD person, PhD student. And my friend was like, if you fail, there were actually options. They could work with you to repurpose that 1 year of PhD into a master's, and you exit the University of Oxford with a master's certificate, with a master's degree. Is that what you call a failure? Or at the end of 1 year, if you do this exam and you fail, the university allowed you another one semester or 2 semesters to retry. And my friend was like, if you ask me, those are not failures, really. And when I actually thought about those worst case scenarios, because those were my worst case scenarios, I was like, you know what, I think I'm okay. And so make peace with the worst case scenario, and it will give you a lot of courage to move forward with your delusional project. With the writing of my books, when I started at the end of my PhD, I wrote this book, and I did not have a publisher. I did not even know how do people get publishers. But the worst case scenario was I write my ideas, like all these strategies, all these tips and tricks that helped me enroll and survive a PhD. I was like, I'll just print out a PDF and share with my mentees. And if you ask me, that's not a worst case scenario. And so I was like, let me just write. If I manage to publish it, if it's good enough to publish it, I'll put it on Amazon and let the world read. If not, I'll just make a PDF and share it for free. That's not really a worst case scenario. But that is what I was fearing, that I might not have enough content or good enough content to publish it. So just make peace with the worst case scenario, and it will embolden you to embark on that delusional project. You will not even believe it. Number 3 is announce it before it's ready. And announce it, I don't mean like announce it on the internet. You can do that as well. But announcing it is, for instance, when I was writing this book, I was in the middle of drafting it. And I think I went on LinkedIn and said, I'm writing this book. It's coming out this whatever day. I'll be launching it summer of whatever. It's called commitment device. If you've read Atomic Habits, you know about commitment device. That when you are embarking on a really big delusional project, you will be so scared and you will be doubting yourself that if no one knows, or if no one is holding you accountable, if you do not have a commitment device, then it becomes so easy to just kill the project and forget about it. So commitment device is just this way of making a promise to yourself or making a solid commitment so that when that inspiration and motivation goes down, you do not stop. Here on YouTube, on G and Inspire podcast, told people expect 1 episode every week. And so my subscribers, I think some of you guys are also subscribed there, are expecting an episode every week. And so knowing that I'm accountable to my subscribers, to my followers, sometimes I do not have energy or even inspiration to release an episode. But I'm like, oh my God, but then my followers and my subscribers kind of know and expect a video a week. And so it keeps coming, it keeps bringing me back. That is my commitment device here on YouTube. And to be fair, it's also a promise that I made to myself. And every time I break that promise, I don't feel good. I'm like, I'm letting myself down. If it was my employer requiring me to post a video every week, guess what? I'll be posting. But then I'm asking myself, then why am I letting myself down? If it was my employer expecting me to upload an episode, I would upload. But if it's my project, why am I letting myself down? So that is also like my commitment device. It's like I do not want to let myself down. I do not want to let my project down. And so that is like fuel, like sort of fuel to force me to show up when the motivation goes down. Number 4, take one delusional step at a time. On your journey, on this delusional journey, on this journey to achieve your delusional ideas or project or dreams and goals, they will be so big. Someone said it's like eating an elephant. You show up to your delusional project and it's just so big. You're not sure where to start. And sometimes you will meet these analysis paralysis. You're like, you know what? I don't know where to start. Let me just go home. I'll come back tomorrow. And before you know it, you never start. And so just take one step at a time. Just figure out the next 2 kilometers. The 99 kilometer will come down the line. But if you try to figure out the 100th kilometer before you even start moving, you will never begin that journey. Someone was giving an analogy that I really like. And it was like, if you were to drive, assuming you were to drive from Morocco to South Africa, if you try to illuminate, or if you wait for the entire path to be clear, to be well illuminated, if it's at night, the journey was at night. If you're waiting in Morocco for the entire journey to be illuminated by your car's headlamp before you start the journey, guess what? You will never start. Because guess what? You will never see South Africa before you start making your trip down from Morocco. You do not need the entire path to be clear. You just need to know the first and the second step. That's it. And as you make the first step and the second step, the third and the fourth will just kind of appear. And I like what Julia Cameron, in The Artist Way, it's one of my favorite books. She says, when you are on this journey, on this delusional journey, on this journey to achieving your delusional project, the moment you show up, like genuinely, you want to start this project, she says, things, places, people will show up to help you achieve your dream. I did not know how to publish a book. I did not know how to do a PhD. I didn't know how to start and run a YouTube channel. I just pressed record, uploaded 1 episode. Now we are here. Nothing will happen until you accept that delusional idea. Accept it. Because your friends, your family will make you doubt it. Because it's big, it's delusional. But accept it. That you will doubt yourself along the path, but you will not stop it. And that you will just make the first step, the next step anyway. And you will keep going regardless. The only way to achieve big dreams, achieve your goals, is to be delusional. And I wish you can become more delusional the rest of this year. If you're courageous enough, share with us some of your delusional ideas, some delusional goals that you'll be pursuing the rest of the year. If you like this kind of content, consider subscribing to join our community. Until the next episode, all the best. Good luck with your delusional projects.